Alright, this is the Graco Merkur. Hold on. Sorry about that. This is the Graco Merkur, the ES, the fine finish spray pump. Very important that you guys have a very quality air dryer. You don't want any moisture at all in your actual finish. Sounds muffled. I'm wearing a respirator because I'm spraying some post-catalyzed pigmented varnish with this machine. Now you can get away with using a smaller compressor to run this. It's fine. Between having a 5-gallon pump or a 6-gallon pump there and the reserve about 2 gallons in there, you have plenty to go ahead and run it as long as you're not continuously spraying doors. If you're going with that option, you may want to bump up your compressor as far as capacity. But this is the Graco Merkur. This is the 30-to-1 ratio versus the 15-to-1. It just means that it basically can handle more thicker materials. Well, with that option, you have regular cast iron fittings and pumps versus the stainless steel if you're going to be using a lot of water coatings. This is the actual stainless steel model. I'm on a client's job right now. We're spraying out some kitchen cabinets in here, so it's kind of a makeshift spray area. This is the actual quality of the finish that you can get when using this setup here. It actually comes out, this is actual just the primer itself at the moment. We'll be doing the finish a little bit later. Whoever invented these things making freaking a killing. But they work quite well. Normally we use a little turntable, but on this job site there's no real room for it or setup, so we're doing it like this in a client's house. Works very simple. Back at the spray shop we actually have shelving and stacking and drying units that work more effective for this reason. But out on a client's house this is fine. It saves us transportation costs having to go back and forth deliver them, things like that. So we're using the product here. Not too bad, comes out. Now the basic overview of the G40 Graco gun works pretty well. It comes supplied with a flat tip or the rack tip. I prefer the flat tips because you don't have any drips. They do clog every once in a while if you get some buildup in your material or you start approaching the end of your pot life for your catalyzed mixture. You'll start getting a little feedback. All you have to do is go and disassemble the actual tip, blow it out with the air gun in reverse, clean the housing with a little horsehair brush with some lacquer thinner. But works very well. Sprays very nice finishes. So when you set this up, your fluid pump's obviously going to come down here in your stainless portion. Your air hose will be set up through there. Very straightforward and simple. Now a lot of people ask me, how do you adjust your fluid pressure? Well, it really depends on the material you're spraying versus mixing it down with either a number 4 cup or checking your viscosity, thinning it out. But the overall practice that you need to get a hold of is either a 15-to-1 or 30-to-1 ratio. Each of the manufacturer's paints that you're using is going to have an air-assisted, parameter that you want to use. This particular product I'm using requires a fluid pressure about 560 psi. Now that's the fluid pressure on this side, and this is your atomization air pressure over here. You adjust your fluid pressure. 560 psi is what I want. Divide that by your ratio, so 30. Gives me about 18.6 pounds of pressure on this unit here. Now this other side here is atomization pressure. They call for about 14 to 16 psi. You adjust that as so. That's how you dial that in. Go ahead and take one of these doors here. Yes, it's snowing outside. We try to control it. We gotta vent out the fumes though, because it is pretty strong to the point where it burns the shit out of your eyes. One-handed, spray the back edge. Trying to watch the camera to give you guys a good angle. Now you're probably not going to be able to hear me too well. Let me kick the compressor back on so we don't have a drop in pressure.